Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at NetCom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event, Microsoft Applied Skills Masterclass, Next Gen Analytics with Fabric. Presenting today's topic is Gino Joseph. Gino is a Microsoft certified trainer with over 6 years of experience in the technical field. Gino's expertise is in Microsoft Azure, Power Platform, and data science technologies. He has successfully delivered numerous corporate trainings to date and consulting assignments for various clients across the globe. Please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. NetCom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the Data and AI practice area. NetCom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session will cover the power of real-time analytics with Microsoft Fabric, designed for budding data analysts and pro data engineers. This masterclass has been designed to guide you from getting started with Microsoft Fabric for analytics to querying data with KQL and leveraging real-time event streams. In addition, participants will get guidance on effectively preparing for the DP 603 certification course and exam in today's session. And now I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handouts section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey, Gino, thank you so much for joining us today.
All right, thank you very much, Tracy, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. Myself, Gino Joseph. I am a Microsoft certified trainer. I carry 7+ years of experience into the domain of training. And yep, for this very short span of time as a part of this particular master class, you would be definitely going through, along with me, to discover the capabilities of Fabric when it comes to exploring the next gen analytics for that matter being. Let's quickly get started. Okay, let's focus on very interesting content that we have by which we need to explore about as we understand the capabilities. Of course, various capabilities of Fabric to be explored, but we will focus very specifically with respect to analytics, especially the real-time analytics. So let me take you to the next slide. And here is a quick overview or maybe the agenda that you can expect in this particular session, as a matter of fact, where we are going to start with some initial overview of Microsoft Fabric, which I think necessarily most of you would be requiring because definitely it's a very new product. Not everybody would be very much familiar, or maybe say, even though if you have something that you are familiar with. I believe this overview will give you a rough understanding of what Microsoft Fabric has to offer. We will then talk about real-time analytics in Microsoft Fabric. Okay, I will talk about what is real-time analytics, what are the various services that this particular platform has to offer, which is especially Microsoft Fabric. All right, and then we will also focus on talking about real-time event streams for the matter. Okay, we will explore about event streams. We will talk about how particularly we will be able to uh, say work with particular data, capture the data accordingly, and then definitely run queries using KQL for that matter. So it's going to be a very interesting, say, workaround with respect to Microsoft Fabric, all right, in terms of working with real-time analytical workloads for that matter. And of course, maybe some Q&A definitely by the end of the session so that really to understand where you all stand in terms of maybe the content that is being delivered upon. So without wasting further on the time, okay, one by one, we'll try to get started accordingly on these content, and there will be some probable demonstrations, right? Just at least to reinforce and make you completely familiarized with the particular portal of Microsoft Fabric for that matter being. So let's quickly get started on to understanding the overview of Microsoft Fabric. Uh, Microsoft Fabric, a very interesting service to be spoken about, as a matter of fact, because as a platform, okay, your Fabric encompasses all that is required when it comes to offering you with to end requirements for enterprises, okay, with a very unified solution that Microsoft Fabric is all about. So, like many a times, organizations find it very difficult because whenever they are going to be interacting or maybe say going to be engaging into different workloads pertaining to data, definitely one of the problems is that there will be a need for different services, different vendors, right? And then, of course, the kind of difficulties that comes in with respect to integrating these different services and products accordingly so that they can meet their analytical requirements for that matter. And that's where your Microsoft Fabrics comes into a very, very, say, takes a different role, definitely, as it offers you with separate components into a particularly a very much a cohesive stack, as a matter of fact. So you will see that if your Fabric will offer you with a very unified solution, as I stated, where maybe if you're someone who's going to be involved with data workloads, where you want to track the movement of your data, you're someone who's going to be talking about data processing, data ingestion, maybe say even you want to work with real-time event routing, maybe you want to generate reports, it's all going to be very much possible with your Microsoft Fabric, as a matter of fact. And that's where you need not have to say bring in different services, different vendors accordingly. Rather, just being integrated within your Fabric, you will see that, all right, with its very user-friendly platform, you will be able to meet all your analytical requirements for that matter being. And that's where, as you can see here, it offers you with various say capabilities that are available, various offerings that are available that can really help you in terms of working with, as a matter of fact. So if you are someone who is looking for working with various range of say um, services, products accordingly, capabilities that needs to cater to the analytical requirement within your enterprise, all right, where you're looking for maybe sharing your experiences across different experiences and then capture the insights. Okay, maybe you want to reuse your data assets. Okay, you want to access them in an easier manner. Definitely, and very importantly, you want to administer and govern all your different experiences. Maybe what a data engineer has to do, maybe say what a data scientist has to do, and so on. So it can all be captured into under this particular roof of Microsoft Fabric for that matter. Because as your fabric integrates various workloads for data engineers, maybe say for data scientists, okay, maybe working with your warehouses and so on. So you can use this SaaS platform very specifically, where you can have tailor-made experiences for different users with their specific roles and so on and so for that matter. And one of the interesting facets is that your fabric takes into account AI integration into it. And as a result, it also accelerates the data journey that you're going to take into account, as a matter of fact. So here, say, for example, when you're going to work with, say, maybe you are particularly a data scientist, as I said, maybe say you're going to work with different um, kind of roles for that matter. You have various capabilities or maybe say services that are being integrated within Fabric, as a matter of fact. But one of the most very core to your fabric, where maybe different roles, different experiences, that may be a data engineer, maybe that was someone who's going to work with, say, generating insights with Power BI and so on. So will be using is that very much the core, the foundation to your Microsoft Fabric is going to be your, say, the OneLake foundation that it's going to take into account for that matter, because your data will be stored into a very single format, which is going to be your one lake. I can just show you from here instead of, say, look at this case. So if you have a look on to particularly, say, let's say, let me take you to the home page here. See here. This is within your Microsoft Fabric, you have, say, various experiences definitely be talked about. Maybe you have Power BI, maybe you're going to work with Data Factory, Activator, and so on. So you will see that all these experiences captures the requirement that is there, that is required when it comes to working with data workloads. For example, you want to connect with various data sources, right? You want to visualize your data, discover your data, and maybe you want to share with others, maybe your key crucial insights accordingly. You will see that with Power BI that has been integrated within your fabric makes it very much easier, where you can quickly and intuitively share these insights and arrive at better decisions from your data for the matter being. You have Data Factory definitely, which will provide you with, say, integration of experience when it comes to ingesting your data, preparing your data, transforming your data, from maybe a very wide variety of data sources. So as of now, there are 200 plus, say, native connectors that are available, where you can again connect to those data sources on your prem, maybe on your cloud, and then definitely perform various tasks accordingly. Maybe you are going to be working with, say, data activator, where maybe you will be able to specify certain actions, maybe whenever you want to say generate some email notifications, right? Or maybe say you want to execute some kind of Power Automate workflows, all right, whenever there is a specific pattern or maybe a threshold is being met around. In that case, you can use data activator. You can go for, say, industry solutions, where your fabric will be able to provide you with, say, specific solutions, that data solutions specific to the industry, and maybe addressing your unique industrial requirements and challenges accordingly for that matter. You can work with, say, real-time analytics for that matter, okay, real-time intelligence, what we call it as, where you can manage big data analytics platform optimized streaming accordingly for your time series data with your real-time intelligence. You can go for Synapse data engineering, all right, where you can get, say, you can create, you can manage, you can optimize the infrastructure that is required for when it comes to collecting data, storing data, processing data. When it comes to, again, for the analytical requirements, when it's large in size, definitely for that matter. So again, you can use the Spark platform, definitely what this particular service, this experience has to offer. Same way, maybe if you are a data scientist, all right, and you want to build, you want to deploy, you want to operationalize your machine learning workloads from your Fabric, definitely you would be able to do that. So what it does in this case, your Microsoft Fabric does is that it integrates Azure's machine learning service, okay, which has been built in accordingly, where you can track your experiments, you can register your models accordingly, and then you can use that maybe to generate predictions accordingly for that matter. You have what Synapse Data Warehouse, okay, again, where it will provide you with as it provides you with the compute separate from your storage, where you will be able to scale accordingly on those levels, and then you will be able to interact with data stored in Delta Lake format and so on. So again, that's not a part of not a scope of this particular session, but to just to let you know that there are diversified experiences that have been captured within your Microsoft Fabric that really takes into account or that really gets addressed as we talk about this interesting service, which is your Microsoft Fabric, as a matter of fact. Now, very core to your Microsoft Fabric, as we talk about, say, as I stated, all right, you will see that the core service or the maybe the foundation of the foundational architecture that drives your Fabric is going to be OneLake. All right. So it's a lake centric architecture where for different roles, different experiences, all right, the it will provide you with a very single environment for that matter. So that's where one of the benefit is there because say whenever you will see that data is being used by users of different roles, different different experiences for that matter being, you will there's a possibility that data gets duplicated accordingly, all right, and then maybe say again governing the data, all right, applying say principles accordingly on those levels can be a tough task for definitely that organizations can be challenged with, especially when it comes to different services, different vendors, and maybe data made available across different data sources for that matter. So your OneLake will be that, which will be, you can consider that as very much similar to that of a OneDrive, all right, within your cloud, where you can store your data accordingly, all right, in regions, and then definitely whichever format it is, your OneLake does support when it comes to storing that kind of data formats to suit the requirements of your business, as a matter of fact. So maybe you have data which is structured, maybe unstructured, for that matter being, you will be able to place that within your OneLake and definitely what secure and of course govern your business data, offering you with the necessary compute and the storage that is required when it comes to handling with your maybe say transforming your business data, and of course a support when it comes to a robust business model that your Microsoft Fabric has to offer with its OneLake, as a matter of fact. So irrespective of different roles, different services, maybe say different requirements, your OneLake data ensures and maybe takes into account that the data is not duplicated and makes it available where you can share and collaborate among different experiences or maybe different roles as they interact on the same organizational data for that matter being. Just a second. Yeah. So, as I stated, right, there are different rules, different experiences that Fabric has to offer when it comes to maybe for different data professionals, so that they would be able to work together on the data project. So, what happens is that one of the very, very much benefit of Fabric is where you need not have to say access multiple systems, right? The data doesn't get say duplicated, so that way you will save a lot on silos of data definitely. And very interestingly, whenever you are looking for collaborating among your peers or maybe say among your data professionals, your Fabric takes that into account where you can collaborate accordingly for that matter. So whether you're a data engineer, maybe a data scientist, maybe an analyst, or maybe say an end user who's going to be say consuming your business insights for that matter, your fabric definitely can be taken into account in these levels that provides you with this kind of capabilities accordingly. And very interestingly, see here, say when you look at this, to work with to work with these kind of say experiences within your fabric, it's very important that you will have to say activate particular licenses for that matter being. Okay, so it's very much important that within your tenant, okay, your fabric must be enabled accordingly. Again, coming with different capacities and so on. So you can have maybe you can be a tenant by maybe with respect you can enable that particular capability, the capacity to work with fabric workloads, but maybe you visit to the fabric admin center, that is your app data, say the Power BI admin center for that matter. You can even visit your Power Platform admin center, even your M365 admin center definitely can be taken into account whenever you want to enable fabric accordingly in this case for that matter. So understand that, okay, your whenever you're going to work with fabric, it's very important that you might have to create certain workspaces. All right, again, certain licenses are required, like maybe your premium capacity, all right, or maybe the pro one and so on, so that can be taken or that should be made available within a given tenant when you're going to work with. And that's where when you look at this, of course there are different experiences that are captured, all right, say various licensing options that are available that needs to be taken into account. And here with one single portal, you will be able to switch among different experiences as a matter of fact. Maybe like as I stated, maybe you are going to work with say generating visualizations. Maybe you're going to work with say data factory, data activator. You will be able to switch accordingly on the kind of experiences that's available. And this entire portal, okay, on this particular tenant will be working with the same data accordingly, again eliminating any possibility of what data duplication as a matter of fact. So this is where this gets very much say helpful, okay, as a service, okay, as a platform definitely. This is going to be very much say helpful because it seamlessly integrates data, services, okay, the management that is required, the governance, and maybe even discovery that is required with respect to your data for that matter. So you will be able to ensure the security of items, data, maybe the row level access within your Microsoft Fabric for that matter being. And definitely you can configure the permissions if needed and make it available across different services as a matter of fact. So these various say aspects, maybe basic aspects of your fabric is really see that can be helpful when we are going to talk about or say when we identify various workloads that pertains to data that can be taken into account with this interesting service. But let's very much come to the focus of the part where we are going to talk about say the real-time analytics. Okay, it's going to be the very much important part that we're going to be discussing because this class is focused on real-time analytics, especially in Microsoft Fabric. So we will try to understand what real-time analytics or what Microsoft Fabric has to do when it comes to real-time analytics. Now, let me give set the context very much right, and then maybe save some demonstrations accordingly to set things in right place. Uh, See, over the past few decades, or maybe over a period of time, you would have seen that there is a very much radical shift, okay, when it comes to the way in which we will be accessing information, we are going to be consuming informations, and so and so. And of course, there is also a change when it comes to the ways in which people used to interact accordingly, okay, especially um, with respect to the data, maybe on the basis of the demand or making it accessible accordingly for that matter. And that's where, of course, we arrive at this particular part where the need for big data solutions, right? Maybe you want to go for, say, data ingestion accordingly, okay? Or maybe you want to enable some kind of a keyword-based search accordingly, and so on. So that's where your real-time analytics in Microsoft Fabrics come in, where your organizations definitely will be able to focus, all right, and will also be able to particularly scale up their analytical solutions when it comes to, again, when it comes to being a data scientist accordingly, or maybe even if you are a data engineer as a matter of fact. So what happens is that your real-time analytics becomes very much say essential in your enterprise world. Again, maybe you belong to a sales domain, maybe you belong to a marketing domain, maybe you belong to cybersecurity, and so and so, supply chain, and so on. So this is going to be very much important for that matter, because with your real-time analytics you will reduce the complexity. All right, you will simplify the integration of data from various data sources, and interestingly you will be able to quickly access the insights of your data, just with maybe provisioning the right services, indexing it, creating partitions, and so on, so for that matter. And that's where uh, you will be able to come with what powerful analytical capabilities that real-time analytics offers you for that matter. So your real-time analytics in your Microsoft Fabric will offer you with an analytical solution which can scale up accordingly in a seamless manner with the service as your data, or maybe whenever your query needs to grow with respect to the kind of maybe the size of the data, maybe the services, the users that are going to be dealing in this case for that matter. And your real-time analytics, it's a fully managed, say, service platform that is available here when it comes to streaming, say, times streaming accordingly, or maybe say working with your time series data as a matter of fact. And you will be able to definitely what make use of very interesting query language, all right, which is your KQL, where you will be able to again extract very much an exceptional performance when it comes to working with structured, semi-structured, or maybe say unstructured data for that matter. And this is where your real-time analytics, okay, as a service is being integrated into the suite of uh, see here, it's been integrated very specifically into the suite of your Microsoft Fabric products. Okay, where maybe when it comes to loading your data, maybe transforming your data, or maybe even to generate visualizations accordingly, you will be able to work with it for that matter. So what makes the service, okay, in your Fabric very much unique is that, okay, you will be able to capture data as I stated, maybe transform the data, and maybe say from various destinations. All right, maybe if you want to route them to various destinations, we will be able to do that. I'll show you in a while, like what those say various destinations can be, maybe from your KQL database, maybe you're from your custom apps, maybe from your IoT devices, and so on. So you will be able to ingest a data in a very easy manner, all right, from any data source in any particular data format, because definitely we're talking about big data solutions, right? So of course, the variety, the type of the data will be something which will be heterogeneous. So you need a solution that is optimized to meet that. Maybe you want to run queries on the data that arrives accordingly, you will be able to do that. Okay, maybe you want to scale accordingly when it comes to the need for memory, maybe the CPU usage, right? Performance and cost, auto scaling capability that is available for that matter. If you're someone who's looking for dealing with various data, so data formats, even that's possible with real-time analytics for that matter. So if you are someone who's looking for, say, high freshness, you need high freshness when it comes to ingesting your data whenever it needs to be queried, all right, or maybe say transform your streaming data for that matter. Okay, and you want to have very low query latency when it comes to accessing data for that matter, being you want to search, access data in various formats, like maybe structured, semi-structured. It's all very much possible with your, particularly your real-time analytics as a matter of fact. So when you use particularly say real-time analytics as I stated, right, these are some of the capabilities, benefits that you can arrive at. All right, again, transforming your raw data, performance, auto scaling, again, freshness of your data for that matter being, all right, indexing them, again, scaling with respect to size, maybe performance, maybe the requirements. And definitely, if you're looking for collaboration across different data workloads, different experiences, even that's very much possible within your real-time analytics in your Microsoft Fabric. Now, here are some few, say, important concepts, and then maybe say I'll take you back and I'll show you how particularly that works in those cases, which we need to bear in mind when we talk about, say, Fabric for that matter, very much specific to your real-time analytics here. Number one is your KQL or maybe your KQL databases. All right, your KQL stands for Questo Query Language, which is like it's almost similar to maybe SQL, but not SQL kind of, because the reason is that your KQL is a declarative query language, okay, which can be used when it comes to analyzing insights, extracting insights from maybe structured, semi-structured, or maybe even unstructured data for that matter. So the interesting facet about your KQL is that you will be able to deal with time series data. So if you are someone who is looking for working with, say, cloud-based data analytical solutions, okay, where you want to scale accordingly, log data efficiently and in a quicker manner, we can go with what the KQL queries available, again, storing the data accordingly in your KQL databases for that matter. Then you have, say, your KQL data sets or maybe the query sets accordingly, all right, which are very much similar to that of stored procedures, all right, where you will be able to extend and say functions within them accordingly, and then you will be able to run TSQL queries, or maybe say you can also convert your TSQL queries to your KQL. Now, those who do not know what TSQL is that, say, proprietary version of SQL that is being used in particularly working with your Azure-based, say, services account, working with your relational data for that matter. Then finally, you also have what event streams also. Okay, your event streams are your event stream will be that particular experience, okay, which is available even within your Microsoft Fabric. All right, where whenever you're looking to integrate data from various data sources, okay, providing some kind of windowing features and so on. So with a very intuitive UI that it has to offer with, you will be able to work with event streams for that matter. Of course, there are say other capabilities or components that are available, like maybe you want to go for real-time dashboards, okay, in, even that's very much available. All right, maybe say if you're say working with say rich streaming content accordingly, in that case, you can also go for what these kind of experiences that are available. But because why did I discuss this is that as we proceed further, you will see that I'm going to be creating a KQL database accordingly. And then definitely later in the next section, maybe say I'll show you about, say, in the next part, I'm going to show you about how you're going to be creating event streams in your Microsoft Fabric for that matter. But yes, let's quickly try to talk about, say, how particularly we would be able to, say, work with say real-time analytics in your Microsoft Fabric. So here I'm going to be talking about how particularly you will be able to use, all right, uh, particularly say when it comes to storing and querying your data using your KQL accordingly for that matter, again, working with your time series component. So here I have logged into app.fabric.microsoft.com. Okay, that portal from there on the tenant that has been enabled to work with Fabric capacity where I'm going to be accessing things here. So in my case, I'm on a trial account, definitely, okay, with a pro license here. This is my Fabric is being enabled in this particular case, in this instance for that matter. So here from there, as I stated, there is, say, there are diverse experiences that you can switch to. Okay, maybe from data factory all the way to warehouses, data science, and so on and so for that matter be. Now, since we're talking about real-time analytics, okay, especially in Microsoft Fabric, all right, what we'll have to do is, first of all, we will have to create, say, of course, you can create a workspace, all right. To create a workspace, you just need to click on new workspaces, give a particular name of your choice, say, let's say, a workspace test. And here, interesting facet about this that you will be able to assign some kind of a description, which is a label, a tag like aspect to identify your workspace in Fabric. You can assign various domains. Okay, now this is very interesting because again, I told you, right, this portal allows you with particularly with collaborative capabilities, or maybe say whenever you want to quickly search across different assets belonging to certain domain, you can create that from an organizational standpoint. Now here, okay, you'll have to specify what is the license mode that you're going to be applying. Now, again, these license mode will be very much aligned to the capacity of your Microsoft Fabric. Now, all licenses are not something that will allow you to work with same Fabric. So ensure that you'll have to enable those specific that particular specific license that really allows you to have the capability to work with Fabric requirements for that matter. And you just need to choose the right C service accordingly, and you need to apply. There you go. Now you look at this case here, I have my workspace being created. All right. Within my workspace, all right. Now there are, say, I'll show you from here. Okay, you have various options available. I'm not going to get into all of them, but just to let you know, you can create app whenever you want to share and collaborate. Okay, your data workloads, data assets. Now, maybe say I told you, right? Your workspaces will act like a boundary. Okay, it's going to act like a boundary as a matter of fact. So as you're going to be active, like using workspaces as a legal boundary, in that case, you want to define who uses what level to what extent he or she will be able to collaborate accordingly, and that's where you will be able to define the access of these contents that are going to be placed within your workspaces as a matter of fact. So you can use particularly say maybe you can add people, okay, within your organization, maybe within your team, and you can assign them various permissions that can be considered when it comes to working with the kind of workload that we talk about. Then you have, say, various settings that can be done, okay, that can be configured on your workspaces, all right, maybe general informations, license information, uh, say maybe Azure connections accordingly, all right, maybe do you want to configure ADLS Gen 2, maybe you want to connect your workspace to your Azure Log Analytics, and a bunch of host of, say, other settings that you can configure, all right, maybe storage, maybe GitHub integration, again, for your OneLake settings, if you remember that foundational data service or maybe the data platform, okay, again, storing the data in different formats, again, that can be made available for various workloads. That's what your OneLake is. Maybe the identity, a bunch of other capabilities that can be configured from the workspace settings, just for your understanding, guys. Now, once it's been done, within your workspace, you can place various components that really aligns to your requirements that can be taken into account. Now, for example, maybe you want to create data pipelines, maybe you want to create data flows, maybe you want to create a KQL query set, maybe you want to create a warehouse, notebooks to work with your script, maybe with respect to certain scripts, programming scripts, you will be able to do that accordingly. Now, whenever you're going to work with, say, any kind of an experience, let's ensure that you are in the right experience portal. Okay, so of course, you have created particularly what a particular workspace for sure. Okay, but from here, since we're talking about real-time analytics, I'll have to ensure that I switch to that particular experience as a matter of fact. Okay, I'll come to that particular part. So it shows which is my current workspace. So whatever I'm going to be creating here will be saved to my workspace, which I have created in this case. Okay, now from here, I'll show you. I'll show you a database that I've created, okay, which is a KQL database. And then definitely we'll try to load some data onto it and try to run certain queries in that case. I'll show you my KQL database here. This here. So within your real-time analytics or the intelligence component that we have within your Microsoft Fabric, all right. Um, Again, you can create what capable databases, and here you will see, all right, an overview of all your databases that's available, the activity. So it's a dashboard, guys. Okay, it's a dashboard that really captures what, again, giving you the insights with respect to the databases or maybe the interaction that has taken place on the database as a matter of fact. So to create a database, KQL database, you just have to click on the plus sign that you see on to the right of your KQL databases here. Give a name. All right, let's say DB test data, and let's click on create. Okay, see here now a particular database is being created. Now, once the database is created, now understand one thing that I did say this in the start too. All right, you will have to put, yeah. So whenever this takes place, all right, what's going to happen in this case is, okay, the data gets stored onto the OneLake foundation that is available, the OneLake foundation. As of now, I created a KQL database. Okay, now this is going to be very important that see should this data be made available to your OneLake? Should this data be made available to your OneLake? As of now, it says inactive. It says inactive. So that's something that we'll have to enable accordingly so that we will be able to proceed further. So what I will do is let's click on this inactive. Let me edit that and let's enable this and make it as done. See here. Okay, so from here, from your KQL data, already you can get data from various data sources. Okay, and then run your KQL queries accordingly. That's very much possible. Okay, so let's try to do one thing. Let me try to create a database as of now. I created a database, but I don't have the data. All right, I need to get the data from a local file for that matter. So here, let me click on local file. So it's possible maybe you have data in OneLake, maybe you have in your Azure storage, maybe you have your data in your event hubs, maybe as a part of your pipeline activity, you want to bring in data, you can all configure that. Okay, when you do this on the next level is where, say, since I'm going to fetch a local file accordingly, I'll have to click on new table. Okay, let's say, let's go with the table by the name of sales. All right. I give the name as sales. Now I need to specify where the file is available. So let's say, let's fetch this. Let's say, um, uh, downloads. Yeah, here. Okay, that's been loaded. And then let's hit next. Now, when you load this particular data, all right, okay, uh, you will see as of now, look at this particular case here. Okay, you will see that the column headings are in the first row. Okay, so you will see that the system automatically detected them. Okay, but still, as of now, we haven't seen. It's not something that it's something that has to be dealt with in this case because given my data, I'm just bringing in the data, but it automatically detected that the first row has what particularly column headers for that matter. So that's where I'll have to enable this particular toggle so that I specify that my first row is particularly a column header. Okay, and then pretty much it gives you the preview of the data that has been loaded, the format, the schema, and so and so. And let's hit finish. So when you see this, okay, here in the summary, it says it's created a table, right? It created mappings, it created data queuing, all right, and of course the ingestion accordingly, all right. So as of now, we worked with the static data. All right. Maybe in certain cases, maybe you want to work with real-time data also. Even that's very much possible for that matter. So with this data, maybe if you want to say again analyze the results, maybe say do some kind of ingestion accordingly, all right, maybe say working or creating new dashboards to represent your insights, all is something that's possible. As of now, we are not going to get into that, but rather just trying to create a particular KQL database in this case. Let's say close. There you have. See here, data. Let's say, let me run this. Okay, let's query this table. Let's fetch the first 100 records. See here. So here it is making use of particularly the KQL query definitely here, all right, as it retrieves the first 100 records as a matter of fact. So this is where it's taking this particular keyword take is being taken into account, all right, as it generates the first 100 records within the particular piece. All right. And maybe say from here, maybe if you want to copy the queries, maybe say you want to save it to a query set, if you remember at the start, or maybe even if you want to generate a Power BI report, even that's very much possible with respect to your particular data that resides within your KQL for that matter. Now look at this case, when you look at the feature of this particular data that is available here in the database for that matter, see, it has timestamp based values. So one of the importance or maybe the interesting facet about this kind of data is, all right, especially within your databases, KQL databases, is that it's optimized enough when it comes to say retrieving say data which is very much specifically contains time series data for that matter, and then you will be able to transform the data, query the data, log informations, and if needed maybe even visualize them accordingly for that matter. Okay, that's what something that you're going to be doing. So what your KQL database does is that it will offer you with the data storage. All right, it will offer you with the requirements of data management. All right, where your data can be accessed in both within your OneLake accordingly, and then exposing that same data to the various other experiences that your fabric has to offer for that matter. And definitely, as I stated, you can run what your KQL query sets where you want to run queries, maybe you want to view your queries, you want to customize your query results on data. That's very much possible. So you will be able to say queries for your future use. Okay, export your queries, share your queries with others. Maybe if you want to go for generating some kind of a Power BI report, even that can be done in this case. Now let's see, just a second, let's come back here. Yeah, let's come to the next part, and here we will try to talk about using real-time event streams in your Microsoft Fabric. Okay, that's what we are going to be talking about. Because of course we understood, like say within your particularly what your KQL has to do, maybe your databases is what we saw earlier. Now, if you remember, I talked about some few important concepts, out of which one was definitely your event streams as a matter of fact. See, your event streams, okay? Your event streams definitely in your Microsoft Fabric is that centralized place that this particular platform has to offer, which will allow you to capture, transform, or maybe even route your real-time events to various destinations. And the interesting facet about this particular tool, or maybe this particular experience, when it comes to working with real-time analytics, or maybe say insights as a matter of fact, is that you will be able to configure these interactions, or maybe say these say transformations that is required with a very interesting UI that it has to offer. So you can definitely use various data connectors, source connectors from where you want to fetch your data. All right. Maybe you want to say seamlessly integrate with maybe say KQL databases, maybe with your lake houses, or maybe for that matter being Even with your Azure Event Hubs, definitely that can be configured in this case for that matter. So, and as I stated, this is where okay, your will be able to what it will be that particular location, centralized location that offers you with this kind of capabilities for that matter. And understand that your event streams are part of your real-time analytics experience that your Microsoft Fabric has to offer for that matter. So it is something that you will be creating within the portal, okay, of your Microsoft Fabric event streams, all right, and then you may be able to add different data sources, destinations, maybe even the way you want to process your events, all right, that information that can be made available for that matter. Now, understand that whenever we talk about, say, event streams, the focus is always on the event data, okay, where within your event streams you will be able to work with a very much a scalable a scalable infrastructure where your fabric as a platform will be able to manage on your behalf for that matter being. So what your event stream definitely does is that again, as I told you, right, maybe different various. I'll just show you from the portal. If you come here, let's talk about this particular event stream here, okay. Mm, let's see. I'll just show you an event stream directly before I get into, yeah, I'll show you an event stream. You just need to create an event stream. Okay, let's create one. See here. Here we have created a particular event stream. So it consists of two facets. One is the source. Second is the destination. Okay. And maybe say, how do you want to perform? Maybe say work with these kind of insights accordingly for that matter. So as I stated, your event stream, it's a feature that is available in your Fabric. Again, when it comes to routing real-time events, capturing them, transforming them, various just to various destinations accordingly for that matter. So you can add various data sources. So these data sources can be your sample data. It can be from particularly from your event hubs. Okay. Maybe say IoT hub, maybe from your custom apps. Okay. And then whenever you think that okay, there is a need for some kind of a transformation, you can go with what even streams for that matter. You can apply transformations on that for that matter being. So here again, you will be from here within your fabric, all right. You have something called as the event store from where you can monitor okay the particular events okay from the cluster, and then you will be able to understand the state of your cluster or maybe a workload at a given particular point of time also. And definitely you will be able to query them or write, assign and work with them in those levels to reap the benefits in this case. Now having said that okay, let's try to quickly come back here and just let me try to say configure something here very much quickly, and let me show you how particularly you will be able to create an event stream when it comes to fetching data from different events, okay, event-based data sources, and then placing them onto the right destinations for that matter. Maybe after post apply transformation as a matter of fact. So here in this case, let's say here is my event stream here, which I had created earlier. Okay, okay. Let's try to configure this particular event stream accordingly. Okay. Now, let's say having created a particular, I showed you how you can particularly create an events team. Now, what we're going to do is we'll have to add a data source for this. Okay. Now, the data source, as of now, I'm taking some sample data that is available within my fabric itself. There it is. And this is where maybe I can give in a name in this case. Let's say sample. Uh, let's select stock data, and I select this particular database, which is the stock market data. Okay, high data rate for that matter. And now what I'm going to do is I'll quickly also add a particular destination. All right. Okay. And then we'll add a new destination, which will be a particularly a KQL database for that matter. So this is where I come to. So you can just click on this, and then maybe you can choose what can be a destination. Maybe you want to go for custom app. Okay. Maybe you want to go for particularly say you want to go for lake houses, all right. Maybe say you want to particularly go for KQL database, maybe for Reflex, all right. It's all very much possible within your event streams as a matter of fact. So let's do one thing. Let's, as of now, let's go with our KQL database, all right. Just a second. Let's select. Now, how do you want to create this KQL database? What is the ingestion mode that you're looking in this case? Maybe you want to go for direct ingestion, okay? Maybe you want to go for event processing, okay? Because we are talking about event streams for that matter, right? So you'll have to specify what is the destination name that you want to specify in this case. So let's say, let's give the name as my stock test, and let's choose a workspace. Now, workspace, okay, that which we had created. So we can choose a workspace as of now. Let's say the demo one, and let's choose if we have a database. So in my workspace, I had created a database earlier. So let's click on my stock data, and within that database, let's see whether it has a particular table or not. Yes, it has a table by the name of stock data. And you can specify what can be the format, maybe JSON, Avro. Now, these are all are, again, various formats, again, for different roles, different, say, experiences. Again, people will prefer to work with different kind of formats accordingly. But here, of course, just to let you know that the, it makes no, say, even though you have different formats accordingly, within your OneLake, it gets stored in a unified what, say, format accordingly for the matter. So for our case, we'll keep it as JSON in this case for the data that we have in. And let's say one able to validate data, that's what they say. Let's try refreshing it. Okay, no data was received. Let's try to, there you go. The earlier created one. Mm, there is some kind of an issue out here. Let's quickly check this. Let's let me come here. Okay. It's been a bit slow. Yeah. So yeah, the source name, of course, I'm going to work with the sample data, the stock market data here. All right. on the event stream, and on my destination, okay, I'm working my name of my destination, the workspace, all right, the database that I'm going to work with within my workspace, of course, the destination table, and the data format in this case. So you have config. So what has been simplified is with this particular UI, you were able to configure what your source and of course the destination for the event stream accordingly. And then maybe if needed, you will be able to apply transformations if needed for that matter be. Okay, again, the data format is JSON here. All right. And let's try to refresh this, whether we are able to get some sample data here. Yes, exactly. Now on the same data, all right, what we will be able to do is we will have to say, so this is my stock data, which is a KQL database that I had created, all right, which is again fetching the data from the stock data, the sample data that is available, and you will be able to see that, okay, you will have an hydrated KQL database that gets created in this case. And that's the preview that you're going to be able to see that. And now you would be able to what? Process the data, return the results using your KQL for that matter. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me quickly go to, say, my database here. Let's see, um, stream data. There you see my stock data. You can just click on this and I can get query the first 100 results. This is similar to what we did earlier, guys. I'll show you in detailed manner how particularly you will be able to work with other different kind of queries, definitely, but just fetching some data accordingly. Again, using event streams, I showed you how you can create databases and just randomly fetching some values in this case for the math. Now let's try to do one thing. Okay, maybe say for example, I want to sample some queries accordingly. Again, this time I'll go with SQL queries. So in this case, maybe say I can go for even SQL also. Okay, I can fetch the first 100 records in this case. You see here, again, this retrieves that kind of information. Okay, so again, this is something that's very much possible when you create what? Event streams within your Microsoft Fabric, as a matter of fact. So something that I also wanted to let you know is, see here, as you query your data, again, if you want to fetch out, maybe say, I told you this is an insight, this is a page that offers you with what insights that's available, right? It gives you maybe the details of the, right, the size, the mappings, okay, again, the schema accordingly, the data type of your columns in this case, and so on and so. And as you're fetching these informations, all right, again, you can again get information about the data or the records that you ingested in the last 24 hours. Also, maybe if you want to get the schema, last ingestion time, a lot of other options that are available in this case for the database. When it comes to redeeming the badges for this particular session, so that it allows you to redeem the courseware and the badges for the course DP603. So I want you to navigate to this particular page, all right, for the masterclass, the enroll.netcomlearning.com page. And I want you to come all the way to this particular section which says unlock your exclusive NetCom Learning Advantage part. And that's where you would see this particular section where you will where it says that you are going to get an access to your courseware for DP603, along with certain trophies and badges, as a matter of fact. To get this enrolled or maybe say assigned on your specific profile account, I want you to click on the redeem your DP603 courseware and batch, the one which is being highlighted here, the button here, and that would automatically direct you to learn.microsoft.com page for that matter. And here is where you need to sign into this particular page, all right, web page with your already existing Learn profile accounts if you do have any. If not, definitely you can create a profile hardly within few seconds. A profile gets created. Again, it comes with lots of benefits. And to do this entire process, we have see mentioned this, and you can follow along the steps that have been mentioned. I created here in one after the other in this particular web page for that matter. And you should be able to see an auto-populated code on the dialog box that appears. Make sure that you click on the redeem. And once you do that, once you're signed in and once you redeem the particular code, it gets automatically added to your achievements tab of your particular Learn profile from here. So make sure you do this, reap the benefit of the session, get continual access to your courseware materials, and yeah, take things further ahead with respect to Microsoft Learn profile, the digital trophies and badges. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's take a quick 5 minutes break. Once we are back, we will continue with the remaining of the session.
Sure, we are now going to take a 5 minute break, but before we do that, we are going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Post this break, let's continue, head towards where we left off in the remaining part of the topics that's remaining. Yeah. So let's quickly now final on the final part. Let's try to quickly talk about how we can query the data in your KQL database. Because as of now, you would have seen me talking about KQL database. I showed you how you can create a KQL database, how you created a table within a KQL database. We saw about how we can create an event stream, and then how particularly a destination of a KQL database was being configured. And you saw some sample queries that were being seen queried upon that particular data for that matter. But now we'll talk about, say, very specifically about what KQL stands for, what KQL has to do, and then we'll try to run some explicit queries accordingly on your KQL databases as a matter of fact. And here it is, KQL. So your KQL, as you see here, okay, it stands for Questo Query Language. All right, Questo Query Language. And this is where, okay, within your Microsoft Fabric, definitely, you will be able to particularly say query your data using these queries for that matter. So as I stated in the start itself, okay, this is a very again a direct query language that is available when again if you're trying to unearth the patterns, maybe extract the insights of your data accordingly using this particular query language, and understand that it's very much optimized when it comes to working with, say, time series data accordingly. And you can use this maybe within your Azure sorry, Microsoft Fabric. You can definitely use what these queries to extract these insights as a matter of fact. So even earlier in Synapse, okay, so we had the Synapse Explorer. In Azure, we also have your Azure Data Explorer. All other services are the same. The same is what we have been, say, integrated within your particular fabric accordingly, where you will be able to run these kind of queries and then extract information, so maybe say generate insights for that matter. So this is again, as I stated, this will be used, it's commonly used across various other Azure services like Azure Monitor. If you're someone who has worked with, say, your cloud-based workloads, you will definitely understand what Azure Monitor. Okay, again, if you want to log queries, maybe I told you, right, the Data Explorer. In your Synapse, you have Azure Synapse Explorer. Again, in your Fabric, you have what the real time within your Azure real time analytics. Again, you can use the KQL for that matter. So we saw that, like, particularly say how these all are very much important, and to run them very much an optimized query that we have in this case is your KQL, which stands for Questo Query Language. Let me show you how you can say particularly say query them on the next level within your Fabric for that matter being. So as I stated, you will be able to say use this particular query language whenever you want to analyze your data in your Data Explorer within your Azure Data Explorer. As of now, since we're talking about Microsoft Fabric here, so you will be able to use within the Fabric also. So what makes KQL special is that, okay, it's very simple, it's very easy to understand, okay, but again, it's a very highly say flexible, customizable, say query language that definitely allows maybe whenever you want to perform some complex queries, whenever you want to do some kind of complex analysis, okay, you will be able to do that. And your KQL is the syntax of your KQL is very much similar to that of SQL, but again, some differences will be there, like when it comes to certain operators, maybe the use of semicolons and so that can be taken into account for the matter. And one of the best spoken about, say, the feature when it comes to KQL is that you will be able to handle large volumes of data, all right, in a very quick manner, in a very efficient manner with respect to making use of KQL queries. And that makes it very much an optimized query language when it comes to analyzing log data, whenever you want to deal with telemetry data, right? Or maybe say any other type of big data scenarios, you will be able to do that. And it does really supports various range of data sources also. Okay, whether it is structured, whether it is unstructured, And that's where it becomes a very much a versatile tool, a query language, when it comes to analyzing your data, as a matter of fact. So especially when it comes to KQL in the context of Fabric, okay, you will be able to query data, analyze data from various data sources, maybe your application logs, maybe your performance metrics, your system events, okay, where you want to particularly gain insights about health of your application, maybe performance of your applications, maybe infrastructure, identifying certain issues, opportunities that can really lead to optimization and so on. So that can be taken into account. So your KQL is very much powerful, okay, where again, as I stated, whenever you want to capture the insights into your data, all right, whether you're working with within Fabric or maybe say working with say other data sources with its very intuitive, powerful capabilities it has to offer for that matter. So here, let's quickly try to say work with a sample data in this case and within my uh, workspace itself, and then try to maybe run some. I'll just show you some quick queries, maybe again, just to give a quick insight about KQL. Again, the focus is not to teach you about KQL and all, but just to give you how you can interact with your KQL queries as a matter of fact. So let's do one thing. Let me fetch a sample data here. Hmm, let's say, let's say, I'm sorry. Let's create a new database here. DB automobile. I'm going to use some sample data, guys, here. And let's click on create here. Let's see. Let's come here. Let's come to the workspace that we created. Great. Okay. Let's make it active within your OneLake. And let's use a sample data here. Here you have a bunch of sample data that is available in this particular gallery. Okay. Maybe working with stock, maybe working with log analytics and so on. So I'm going to use this particular automotive operations analytics sample table here. So let's wait for the data to be loaded. Okay, there we have. We have the automotive database that was being created here. Let's see whether, let's try to fetch some preview of certain records, and then later we can try running queries accordingly. Let's say we want to get the first 100 records. Let's run this. Okay, and there you see, uh, when you run the query, it generates what? Yes. So if you want to get the sample number of records, okay, you can use what the take keyword for the matter be. Okay. So as I said, it's almost similar, all right, uh, very specifically to your SQL, okay. But again, you can use different, say, we are going to be, say, particularly working with the sample data in your SQL for that matter be. So what we will do is, let's see what are the tables that we have in this case. Let's see, let me close this, let me expand this. Within you have automotive. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's say if I want to, uh, when I want to ask the engine to return the 100 records, the first 100 records for that matter. Let's say the trips. Uh, I'll use a pipe operator here. Take maybe the first 100. Why is this giving me just a second? Okay. Okay, so what is happening in this case is that, okay, you are trying to fetch the first 100 records that needs to be returned by the engine, okay, very specifically as you're trying to pull these 100 records making use of the take keyword. So now you would have seen that in this case, as I'm running this particular query, okay, I have used this particular operator, the pipe operator. Now, there are two main scenarios where you will mostly use pipe operators or pipe characters in your KQL. One, here in this case, you have used it to separate query operators, especially in the tabular expression statement. Again, maybe like how you would have used, say, uh, like within your logical OR operator. All right, if you want to use that way around, even that's very much possible in this case. Okay, even that can be done. So maybe like as an OR operator, or maybe say you want to separate query operators accordingly. In that case, also use them accordingly, and then with respect to the pipe operator. So in this case, let's say, let me try to run another query. Okay. This time, as of now, here I have fetched all the information that is available in the sample data set. That is my automotive, right? Which it had fetched all the columns like trip ID, vendor ID. You can see here, okay, the information that it has fetched accordingly. Now this time, let me be more specific. Okay, like say from the automotive table, I'm trying to say fetch values like say vendor. Let's say let's fetch the vendor ID. Okay, let's fetch vendor ID. Let's also maybe fetch uh, the vendor ID, and let's say, okay, let's fetch the trip distance also. Okay, let's fetch vendor ID as well as, mm, the trip distance. I'm sorry. Now, as I do this, now what I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to use the take, okay, the take keyword so that I will be able to view the data. And what I'm going to use in this case is I'll use another keyword here in this case, which is my project. See. So what I'm trying to do is I'm using project as well as the take keywords. And what I'm going to do is I'm just saying that, hey, I'm interested in projecting these attributes like maybe vendor ID, the trip distance from that of the automotive table, okay, accordingly the database, and then you're trying to tell, okay, how many records that you want to retrieve. In this case, maybe the first 100 or maybe first 10 or maybe say first 20. Maybe that can be done in this case. Let's select this and try running this. There you see. So it retrieves what the information accordingly for that matter. Okay. This is very simplistic in the sense that you want to use it as a matter of fact. Now, for example, let's say on the same part, um, maybe same as we are going to be same analyzing the data. Uh, okay. Maybe you want to particularly say you want to rename columns accordingly in a particular query set. Okay, so that again it becomes more user friendly. Look at this case, the trip distance. Let's try to rename this in certain way. So what I can do is let's go for automotive project vendor. Let's say I just need to what I will do in this case is let's say I'll make this as trip distance. Okay, and let's enclose this in braces. And let's, instead of 20, let's try fetching 10 records here. So here what I'm trying to do is, of course, you know what the project does. It's projecting the attributes, vendor ID, and the trip distance would be projected as, again, with the change formalities that you want to see in this case. Let's try to run this. See here, the change that it has led to, the trip distance for that matter. So you can, yeah, like there are various ways of ABC that you're going to be working with your KQL to work along the lines. What if you want to say particularly summarize, okay, the trips and so on, so for that matter being. So that's where, let's say, uh, I can say that automotive summarize uh, total trip distance. Let's see. Okay, this is a new attribute that I want to integrate in my projection, and which should capture the sum of uh, trip distance. Mm, let's see. Just a second. Let's run this. Let's try to summarize. Okay. So here you got the total of the trip distance of the records, or maybe the distance traveled by the particular within the for all the total trips that were available in this case. Maybe say in certain cases, you want to say, okay, you want to use group by accordingly in this case. All right. Say for example, as we run this, uh, maybe I will to pick up, okay, and I'll use guru name, okay, and then I'll try to we see project um as total trip distance. So let's see. Okay. So what we have done in this case is here we are trying to, okay, for the pickup location that is there. All right. Again, we are using a summarize operator, and we are going to group by the pickup location accordingly. Okay. And here you are also using the project operator, which will allow you to select and rename the columns accordingly that you want to include in your particular output. So in this case, you're going to be grouping by the borrow within your particular the taxi details that we had in of your users, and with the total distance that they have traveled from each of your borrow for the matter. Let's try to run this. See, okay, based on the borrow, okay, you will be able to see the total number of distance of trips that they have traveled, and you have grouped the informations accordingly on these levels. Maybe similarly, maybe you can even try go for say going for say a where clause where you can integrate what um, particularly say a predicate, okay, and then we will be able to do some kind of a sort accordingly. Let's say, for example, in the same data set, let's keep this as it is. And let's say I'm going to work with on the next level is where, uh, let's say I'll integrate hmm, where I'm keeping a predicate here, the pick up borrow name is equal to, in this case, we had Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, so and so. So let's make it as Manhattan. Perfect. Spelling is right. Yep. And let's keep this as it is. And we'll try to, um, let's say, let's try to project borrow case is empty. Pick up borrow name or pick up, let's say, unidentified pick up borrow name, and let's say total. And let's try to sort this information accordingly. And let's say sort by borrow and ascending. So what we are trying to do is, just a second. Mm, okay. So what we are trying to do in this case is we are trying to say filter the data set from fetching it all the way from the source, and you're trying to apply a filter directly after the table, particular table for that matter. Oh, why does it say an error? Let's see, we're missing something here. Total, yes, just a second. And okay, let's try to run this code. See here. Okay, so here, okay, you have say use the where clause definitely in your KQL, okay, the query, and we have used particularly the or operator, okay, definitely, and then again evaluating for the trues and the false accordingly on multiple columns, and definitely trying to filter the particular data set in this case for that matter. Now, say for example, you want to particularly say uh, from the given table, all right, or again you want if you're someone who wants to say work with PSQL when it comes to query or summary informations, even you can do that accordingly. Okay. But what so for that, what you'll have to do is you'll have to use a TSQL endpoint accordingly, again, which will emulate particularly your Microsoft SQL server, and then you will be able to run TSQL queries on your data for that matter. Again, there are some limitations, okay, when it comes to limitations and differences, okay, from with respect to your SQL server for that matter. For example, you won't be able to create or maybe alter or drop certain tables or insert, update, or delete certain data accordingly for that matter. Again, um, again, not all the features are very much compatible, but yes, we can do that. But why we would preferably say want to go with say a particular KQL query, all right, or maybe say from where you want to apply, or maybe say retrieve informations whenever you want to particularly see fetch insights. Again, with respect to the data that is available in your KQL database for that matter. That's very much optimized way of working with these kind of data sets, or maybe say records in this case for that matter. So this is what we saw about KQL. All right, we saw that how particularly we would be able to query the data that resides within your databases. Again, just to show you some perspectives about the features and the capabilities that is available. And here in this, say, we saw that how optimized, say, we tried various ways in which how particularly you would have been able to retrieve these informations accordingly and discover the pattern or maybe analyze the trends within the data that resides within your KQL databases for that matter. So this is what we had discussed in this, say, particular part of the entire span of whatever we discussed about, where we understood what Microsoft Fabric is all about. Again, being that unified portal or maybe that solution, a SaaS platform, which can offer you with integrating across various experiences, various roles, possibilities of collaboration, okay, where you will be able to manage your data, govern your data, offering you with a set of tools. And we very much focused on the real-time analytics aspects of your Microsoft Fabric, okay, where you will be able to query large amount of data, all right, using your KQL. We talked about event streams, okay, which will offer you with a no-code tool feature where you can store your data in a central place, where you can capture the data from various data sources, apply transformations again using KQL and or maybe if you want to route them into the right destinations, you can do that. Okay, and finally, we also saw about how particularly say you would be able to query the data in your KQL databases within your Microsoft Fabric. Again, with its say optimized capabilities, the performance that it has to offer, we're interacting with the unlimited amount of data with respect to your workload, you will be able to run your KQL queries accordingly for that matter. Okay, that was what we had in this case, all right, with respect to the particular masterclass on this particular part with respect to understanding the next gen capabilities that is available in your Microsoft Fabric. Let's then proceed further ahead, guys. All right, and this is where I want to talk to you about the value of certifications. Especially, I want you to take a step further ahead. All right, as you continue with respect to your learning journeys and get the best out of it for that matter. And this is where, say, I have a very interesting, say, ebook, okay, that is available, which you can definitely download accordingly, which speaks, again, making use of data, definitely. Numbers speaks, right? So with these numbers, it really tries to cement or maybe say reinforce the fact that how particularly certifications has helped individuals, organizations, and definitely for the growth of the career, definitely for that matter. So Microsoft certifications definitely to come up with immense value for, of course, its potential learners, its implementation part from the organization standpoint, maybe for a particular individual as a matter of fact. And here are some of the benefits, definitely, when it comes to Microsoft certifications. All right. Um, Again, the kind of value that it comes into. All right. Again, whether maybe the labs, okay, where it is accessible for 180 days. You have the recordings that can be accessed for 90 days if you enroll for a Microsoft training accordingly, and you will be able to access all these aspects from our say the exclusive portal that we offer for our learners on those levels for the matter. And you will have what free repeats. And definitely we have our same potentially always available 24/7 support that is available from our customer service part, definitely to trying to resolve any of your queries in those levels for that matter. So take this step further ahead. Okay, understanding the value of Microsoft certification. I pretty much believe you all know the value when it comes to Microsoft certifications being in the tech domain. But yet, just to remind you of maybe a step further ahead, this really aligns you for the next level of certifications. So again, this is just a facet of what we could have discussed in the course EP600. Okay, maybe on the next level, if you that really aligns you, you want to identify the various capabilities on that that can be taken into account. And here are some of the facts and some of the benefits. Again, let's since we are talking about associate level examination, especially DP 600 in this case, or maybe say DP 603, which does not have a certification, but DP 600 definitely has a certification. Again, the renewal comes at no cost, valid for 1 year. So if you can renew your examinations or certification 1 year prior to its expiry, you don't have to pay a single penny for renewing your certifications for that matter. So that means it's lifetime valid definitely, and you will be able to showcase your particular what the learning trajectory, your credentials accordingly, and you stay continually updated with respect to the Microsoft certifications, new technologies, and of course, you know, guys, Microsoft has been in this business for a while, right? So definitely the kind of value that potential it brings onto its learners, definitely it's very much reaping rewards for the matter being. So I will definitely recommend you maybe say on the next level, try and getting yourselves to the next level with respect to getting yourself certified, enrolling for the course, or maybe say taking things a further ahead with respect to Microsoft accordingly. Yeah, uh, yes, get yourself trained, get yourself certified, and definitely accelerate through the pathway of the next phase accordingly with respect to new learnings, guys. All right, guys, let me quickly take you through another interesting process that we are offering for our exclusive participants for this masterclass. And to get a benefit, this is where we're going to offer you with a promo code so that you can reap the benefits to get a discounted price on this course, which is DP603. Okay. And to do this very specifically, I have shared a link on the chat. Feel free to utilize that link, which will take you to this particular page, which is on the NetCom website for the course GP603. So the moment you arrive at this particular web page, I want you to click on proceed to buy, all right, and choose a slot of your convenience, all right, to which you want to get enrolled so that you can attend for this virtual instructor-led training on this course, which is DP603. So in this particular scenario, I'm just choosing the recent date that is on June 18th, all right, and I'm gonna add this to particular cart. And what I'm going to do here is, of course, you should be logging in with respect to your particular email ID so that you can log into this particular portal when it's been asked. And what you're supposed to do is, once it takes you to the cart, okay, you can apply the particular uh, the promo code that's being made available for the exclusive participants for this today's session, and that is going to be MSFAB299. You just need to apply it. All right, guys, as you can see, I've applied the particular code that was being made available to you, and that really gets showcased on the actual price that gets discounted as I apply this particular promo code. And you can see that actually, you can see the difference that it has brought in terms of the pricing for this particular course for the virtual instructor-led training on DP603. Yep. Utilize this opportunity, guys. Get it redeemed, all right, on your profile. And yes, reap the benefits of this discount being offered exclusively for this particular masterclass participants. Thank you very much. With that, it's a wrap from my end on this particular session. Yep.
Thank you, Gino. That was most informative. I know everyone is looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting your questions into the questions panel. And while you do that, I would like to give the presentation rights over to Sagnik, our vendor manager, to introduce you to our promotions and webinar-related courses.
So as you can see on my screen, this is the event handout that you all have received. Once again, we thank you all for taking out the time and joining our masterclass today. As part of this handout, you'd see the content section wherein the different sections within the document have been listed here, and everything is hyperlinked. So you can quickly use these links to jump to the specific section of the document. Before we proceed, it's worth mentioning that NetCom Learning, we are the proud winners of the Microsoft Partner of the Year Award for 2 years in a row. So as we say, the legacy continues. In 2022, we were the Partner of the Year worldwide, and in 2023, we were the Partner of the Year for United States. And we are also a Microsoft Cloud Solutions partner. That means that we have capabilities across all the 6 solution areas recognized by Microsoft. A few more things about us. We are in the training industry for over 25 years now, having serviced over 80% of the Fortune 1000 companies, serviced 100 plus US military bases. Overall, we have trained 1 million plus professionals across 36,000 plus unique enterprises, and we enjoy a 96% recommendation rate from our customers. All our trainings on Microsoft are delivered by instructors that are certified and authorized by Microsoft. And our overall instructor pool stands at about 3,200 plus certified professionals. We are your one-stop solution for all your corporate upskilling needs with official training across every major technology and business solution provider. So as we can see over here, we are an authorized training partner for all the industry leaders across Microsoft, AWS, Cisco, CompTIA, EMI, EC Council, and others. Now, within this handout, you would also find this particular page wherein you can find the session recording. You can use the link to access the recording for today's session and revisit the concepts that were covered in today's masterclass. On this page, you'd find the link to access your complimentary courseware and the digital badges. The same landing page that we covered at the beginning of my presentation. You can find the direct access link here, and the link to which is also available on your chat on GoToWebinar. Also, all the participants will be given access to NetCom 365. It is our student portal that includes a lot of features and resources for you to take advantage of to supercharge your skilling journey. All you need to do if you're accessing it and activating it for the first time is set up your password and then you'd be good to go. We highly recommend everyone to explore our learning portal to take full advantage of all your skilling resources. Now let's quickly take a look at some of the latest offers on Microsoft trainings and certifications. First up, we have the Microsoft Quick Start program, which is applicable across the entire portfolio, encompassing Azure, Security, Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, and Power Platform. It is truly the best in class exclusive enterprise discount offering on your end-to-end Microsoft training across the official portfolio. The pricing model is quite simple and straightforward. If you have a team, if whether you are a large organization or a small organization, and you have a team to train across departments or within the same department, we have two options for you depending on your team size. If you are looking to train more than 15 learners, you would be getting a flat discounted pricing of $300 per day per learner. And of course, as the number of days for the particular training increases, the amount also increases, but you get significant savings on this. If you are having a smaller team that is 14 learners or less, then you still are entitled to a $400 discounted flat pricing per day per learner. This really accounts to huge savings when it comes to large scale training. So we highly recommend everyone to get in touch with us, explore the offering by clicking on the link provided in this handout. And all your trainings can also be customized based on the specific projects and workloads that you and your team, your organization is working on. And our industry specific subject matter expertise encompasses a wide range of verticals, as you can see over here, from banking and financial services, healthcare, federal and state and local government, to education, energy, manufacturing, retail, consumer goods, and more. Next up, we have the Microsoft value of certification. We highly recommend, along with Microsoft, that whenever you are investing in your skilling journey, be it in terms of your time and effort or your training funds, it's always recommended to secure your skills by getting the validation and approval from Microsoft. So what it does is certification from a decision maker perspective. You want to ensure that the ROI on the training is guaranteed. So this is like a quality control on the training investments that you make for your team. So once your team completes the skilling, they can take the associated certification exam to make sure that they are eligible and they qualify under the standards that have been set by Microsoft on the related technologies. And if you are a learner and a professional, it is a great career booster for you, right? The credential of being Microsoft certified is industry recognized, and these are industry aligned to specific job roles, and these demonstrate the real world skills required to solve real world business challenges. So these badges add a lot of value to the credibility of your profile. It enhances your job prospects and career growth. For a limited time, we have a 10% exclusive discount on all Microsoft certification exam vouchers going on right now. We highly recommend, if you are considering taking training or getting certified, this is the right time for you to do so. The link has been provided on this particular page of your handout. We highly recommend you to avail the same. Also, you'd find that if you have a team, if you are a big organization or a small organization, having a team that you're looking to train, our 2-hour private group training demo is also a great option for you as the next step. It is free of cost, as we say, you can see over here, and it is customizable as per your needs. So rather than a public delivery, which was the format of today's session, you're going to get a private group training wherein our instructor is going to connect with you, understand your specific requirements, and our learning consultants are going to map out your specific needs and accordingly tailor the skilling plan that makes sense for you and your business. So these training demos are provide a great value because these are customizable. All the trainings are delivered by our top rated trainers, and you get a complimentary skilling plan consultation, allowing you to get clarity on which specific courses are needed to be taken by your team. And in case you are a large organization, you are a multi-shore firm with multiple divisions and your workforce spread across geographies, or you have multiple business units within the same organization, the skilling needs kind of get complicated in those scenarios, right? But how do you manage your training funds in that case? And that's why we have the Learning Passport, which provides a flexible team training package. Basically, you park all your training funds with us for 12 months. And within these 12 months, you get exceptional value on the funds that you invest, right? Up to 100% increase of your fund value is what you can experience with our Learning Passport. And these funds are flexible. That means you can use it to train irrespective of the individual that you want to opt in for. A simple distinction with the NetCom Plus is that it is mapped to the specific learner and it is only valid for that learner. But in Learning Passport, you get that additional flexibility that for one particular course, you can pick one particular learner, and for another, you can use your same training dollars for another course. This is basically giving you unlimited access to our entire authorized training portfolio of 4,000 plus official courses. So we highly recommend you to check this out if you have such skilling requirements, especially keeping in mind that the end of the year is coming, and we are aware that organizations need to finalize their training budgets. If they don't use it, they kind of lose it. So this is an ideal solution for you guys to park your training funds and make sure you get the ultimate value all year round. Now we will take a look at the recommended courses that we have. Over here, you can see the courses that are related to today's topic have been mapped here, divided by fundamentals and role-based. So we highly recommend everyone to click on these links. All of these are hyperlinked. Pick the item that you want to explore and you'd be redirected to the official documentation that we have on these particular courses. Also, please note that all the courses that are delivered by NetCom Learning are delivered by subject matter experts. You get additional perks like 180 days access to virtual labs wherever applicable. Also, you get access to 90 days to the class recordings to revisit the concepts. You get full access to our NetCom 365 portal, as well as you can repeat the classes free of cost within a specified duration if you want to revisit or you couldn't attend the first time. We also have a couple of free resources mapped here, like our upcoming free event and a blog. We highly recommend you to explore those as well. With that, I'd like to thank everyone. Do follow us on our social handles And we hope to see you soon once again on one of our events and classes. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that information, Sagnik. And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. Our first question of the day is, how would you define KQL?
Okay, KQL, as the term suggests, it stands for Questo Query Language. Very much a query, very much an optimized language when it comes to processing, or maybe say transforming, or maybe say generating insights from your telemetry data, maybe your log data, and which is available when it comes to your Azure-based services like Azure Data Explorer, Synapse Explorer, and even for that matter, in your Microsoft Fabric also. So it's a query language very much optimized to keep performance based one when it comes to retrieving insights, or maybe say analyzing the trends and patterns in your time series data, as a matter of fact.
Second question is, what are the various types of data source that can be configured as source and destination within event streams?
Okay. So when it comes to event streams, there are various sources that can definitely be set up. There are, of course, destinations that can be set up for that matter. So you can maybe you can use your sample data definitely. Okay, in your business scenarios, maybe you want to use Azure Event Hubs, or maybe you want to go for say Azure IoT Hub as such, or maybe even you want to go for a custom app. Okay, where you want to develop your own applications to push your event data into your event streams with multiple protocols, even that can be done. So in that case, I would say that event hubs, Azure Event Hubs, your IoT hubs, your custom apps, or maybe even sample data can be considered as your sources for that matter, or maybe reflects KQL databases as such. Yes.
Next question in the queue is, what is the promo code for a discounted rate on the DP603 instructor-led class? The promo code is MSFAB299, all in capital letters. And this code is also listed in the event handout that you received, along with a link to the DP603 course page. All you have to do is enter this promo code during checkout to receive this amazing discount. Our last question is, which is the foundation that is used in Fabric to store organizational data and operated with various workloads?
Okay. Very interesting question. Okay. And my answer would be the OneLake Foundation, definitely for that matter. Okay, the OneLake Foundation. So because it's the OneLake Foundation that unifies all your lake houses accordingly. All right, where you will be able to unify the data across different experiences onto your Fabric workload for that matter. So that Fabric Lake is called as the OneLake for that matter. Again, built on your Fabric platform, offering you with a unified location where you can store all your organizational data, and you can make it available for operational across the various workloads for that matter. Again, which really extends the capabilities of your ADLS Gen 2 within your Microsoft Fabric. Okay.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave this session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.